Summer holidays for city children in North Kensington. Like every holiday, the schoolyards are locked and the youth clubs are shut.
We was playing ball outside a lady's doorstep and she came out and told us to go somewhere else, so that's why we came here. Everywhere we go, it's always trouble, because in the streets, it's always cars coming around and lots of children get knocked over.
Cities care little for children. In this drab corner of London, which throngs with kids, there's hardly anywhere for them to go that's not prohibited. Children need somewhere for adventures. It's an urgent need and it must be answered. So people in this neighbourhood are now demanding that the council provide more space for play. Not just a bit of concrete with swings and roundabouts on it, but something better. Space does exist, but admission to these gardens is by key only, a privilege enjoyed by well-to-do tenants of the surrounding flats, a legacy of the Victorian builders. North Kensington is the victim of long years of neglect by the Borough Council. Landlords too have sucked it to the bone. Citizens' action groups are everywhere, but most people are cynical and distrustful of politics and have no wish to be involved. But changes must come about, and they're starting with the children. There's now a play programme run on temporary sites by volunteers in holiday time, and it's growing. The oldest, and until recently the only permanent play site, is the Notting Hill Adventure Playground. Kids from all over flock to the playground. They call it the Venture. The Venture celebrates the arrival of summer with a carnival and invites its neighbours in. Like any adventure playground, the activities go on all year. But with so many kids in the summer, a lot of things will need special planning. There's also the need to get away altogether, so there'll be weekend camps out in the country. Some children don't expect a holiday away, like Denise.
If my mum wins at bingo one day, we might go on holiday to Cheddar. Or if my mum don't win, we come up here.
I'm doing some swimming and come to the adventure and build some camps. Have swimming, stand adventure, play football.
Football, tell us. Make the playground bigger.
But take that too slow way.
We ain't got enough room in here.
Indeed, there's very little room. The kids are often harshly critical of what the Venture provides, but still they come, regulars almost daily for years. It's a place available to the whole community and provides an evening club for old people and one for teenagers too.
I'll get the right way to the right.
Because it's always open, people tend to treat it as a handy information bureau. They come in with every sort of problem and expect a solution. There's a full-time paid staff of 6, led by a play leader. Their main job is to help the kids, working with them at their level, doing what they want to do. What's the matter?
Look!
What?
What are you doing? There's a camera, isn't it?
They're listening to you. No, he's listening to you.
Keep on following you. Polly had a dolly who was sick, sick, sick. So she phoned for the doctor to come quick, quick, quick. The doctor came with his bag that he had, and he knocked on the door with a rat-a-tat-tat. He looked at the dolly and he
Part of the venture is set aside for under fives. This playgroup is run by Save the Children Fund. It provides the first step towards getting to know each other.
Me too.
Learning by playing. The problem is whether to cooperate or compete. Through lack of space at home, some have never had the chance to make things with their fingers or even play at all. Some parents don't see the need for the messy materials children like, but prefer to buy them expensive, sophisticated toys. They often object if a child wants to bring home something he's made, because there's no room to keep it. The playgroup provides a valuable contact with the mothers who come to collect their children. As a result, some become more interested in what their kids are doing. In imagination, children relive situations and find out things for themselves. They discover ways of working together. Building a hut, hammering a nail, to a child that's creative. In the venture, any achievement is better than none at all. But for the kids who come here, is the venture any more than just a temporary compensation for what they lack outside? What about Barbara? Or Denise and her sister Jean? Lukey in the vest and his brother Louis. Local families all face one problem: bad housing. Children here, though very independent, often lack the chance to develop basic skills, and their education suffers. Through inadequate housing, Barbara's family has been forced to split up. She has a brother and a sister, Peter and Annie.
I live with my grandmother. Peter sleeps with my dad. And me and Annie sleep with my grandmother. I sleep in the corner and Annie sleeps down in the middle and my mum sleeps at the end.
Is that funny at night, the three of you in one bed?
It's a big bed. I do get woken up sometimes by the rats.
Where do they come from?
From underneath the wardrobe or underneath the bed to find some cheese. When we put it in the cupboard, they can open the door. You liar!
Children can be deprived in other ways too, by parents who have to work long hours and don't have much time to spend with them.
You are now, Denise.
Denise and Jean leave home each morning and play together while their mother's out at work. This is Denise.
I'm 8 next week. My sister Jean, she's older than me, she's 9. And I'm 8. I'm bigger than her. She's downstairs to me, on my shoulder.
Home for Denise and Jean is a mile away down Portobello Road. They make the journey alone. The council had the power to stop this becoming a slum if they'd wanted to. But laissez-faire politics means letting things find their own level. The area has a notorious history of bad landlords, and very few families have any confidence in the future. Denise and Jean live here in a rented flat. The house is collapsing. The housing trust, whose property it is, sent the builders round to test the rate of collapse. Denise knows the facts.
What's your house like?
My house like, it's all falling to bits. And the stairs are. There's passage stairs near ours where there's only 3 flights. And you can't walk ordinarily putting your whole feet down because it's full. You can only tiptoe on that.
But what floor are you on?
Flat 4. That's dangerous, this one. Because there's a hole in the roof. That was there when we moved in. When it rains, it all comes in. When it thunders, it comes in as well.
The message is plain, but people have become fatalistic. Their children, given the chance, may be different. Children provide radical solutions to their problems, and they don't understand grown-up mentality that is so conservative.
That's the possibly an explosion. Yeah, I know.
The kids tend to be wary of adults, often with good reason. So at first, there's a good deal of hostility to overcome. There's plenty of aggro, often deliberately provoked. But at the same time, the conditions are there for real friendship to develop. Kids get to know the staff sometimes better than they know their own parents. So if someone has to leave, it's a matter of genuine concern.
Because I wish they'd never go like Julia, she's gone. And Donald's away. No, I don't like that. And no, I like Julia. Julia's gone away to Greece. Yeah. But she's coming back the end of September, and she might be coming to see us. It's like making friends. When you make friends, you've been playing with them every day, not for the week. When they go away, you feel so lonely and sad. Thanks to me, my friends go away.
What? What's he doing?
I know, don't I? Shop, how do you go?
What's he doing?
That's where I work in the shop.
Which shop do you work in?
Supermarket.
What do you do there? What are you doing? You helping them?
Put the boxes out.
Or you pack up all this, help them pack stuff and take it down again? The challenge for the leader is that conversation is a two-way thing. Kids can ask him questions and find out about him as well as talking themselves.
This is a man. His name is John. He's a bank manager. He's ugly, but he's rich. He's got big ears. And he's got too much hair. And he's just waiting for his friend. As he's waiting, he was getting himself drunk. And his friend is a girl.
Some kids in the venture have plenty of talent and can easily initiate their own projects. Others get quickly bored playing on their own and yet are inhibited from working in groups. They don't like the competition from other children. But group work is part of the venture. Kids learn that more can be achieved by working together than by sabotaging each other's efforts. There's more progress that way. Projects are started that sometimes last over several days.
Yeah, but you probably break the wardrobe. How's the best way to go about it? Lock the joints, yeah. Yeah. Where's the nails from the nails together? Hang on. Get some good long nails and nail it together. Get your hand. Look, so we get that one side and then get the other side and put one on top like that nail together. What, you mean a nail together and then nail together? It'll be weak at the joint.
Then you asked us what we wanted to make, and John said a pyramid. And I said, how about having a hole in the middle so that we can have a rope like the tower we had before. And it can come down and you can have mattresses at the bottom, you can slide down the rope. All we did now is the fire hose to put it up. When you work in groups, you know, you start arguing who's going to do this, who's going to do that. But sometimes when you work on your own, you know, you get things done quicker.
You couldn't very well do all this by yourself.
Yeah, I know that. I could, but it took me about 3 years.
But if you work on your own, you start getting bored unless you've got patience.
Okay, pull it a bit more. The atmosphere in the venture has to be free and easy. Bit more. There's only one explicit rule. Enjoy yourself and let others do the same. What happens when people break that rule?
You have to be doing something really bad to get told off here.
What happens if you do get told off? Has anybody ever been put out?
Yeah.
Tell me
In a
what
way,
happened when...
he's saying that they ain't controlling the team. You have to do something very bad, he said. He's kind of giving them a bad name. I love smashing bottles. I think that's the best thing. Yeah. Better than chucking stones, smashing windows instead. But I like smashing bottles. We're not allowed to smash bottles, you know?
Do you think everybody behaves themselves well in this venture?
No. No. Of course I don't.
Why? What did you do?
Well, I spit. If anybody's chucked out more than 3 times, that they can't come back no more. That should be the rule. I've been chucked out more than 3 times. But I come back in there any time I like because my legs. Because it's my legs, body, my brain, and so I go in where I like. It's free country, no one stop me. So.
Most kids do have a strong sense of justice. They need to know that if they are put out, they can come back after a few minutes. To put a child who is difficult back out on the street is no solution. But given the chance, The children will solve their own problems in the end.
My dad says if anyone hits me, I must hit them back whether they can fight me or not.
What, even if they're bigger than you?
Yeah. I don't care if you hit me, but I'll still hit you back. When it's really summer day and you're having a fight here, well, they don't let you fight up here. They give you boxing gloves and let you go up in there, remember? Not in a real fight. A real fight, they stop it.
Joe Fraser said I'm gonna beat him because Joe Fraser thought that he was gonna beat Cassius Clay, and he did. And they both kept on punching in the jaw. And they both had to go in hospital, Lukey. That was on the news. No. Yeah, he's gonna beat Joe Fraser next year. Is he? I bet ya. Yes, he's I bet ya.
Adventure playgrounds are not just for slums. They appeal to all sorts of children from all backgrounds, town and country, because they offer that commodity most attractive to children, danger. But danger that can be enjoyed in safety. There are very few accidents in this playground. Lukey and his brother, Lewis, have learned a lot. Children of great potential and inventiveness, they have gained a great deal of self-confidence in their abilities. But in the society they're growing up in, the truth is, they may never get the chance to exploit them. Living just round the corner from the venture, Lewis and Lukey treat it as a second home. Their mother leaves their dinner out while she's at work, and at 6 they come home for tea.
Where have you been, Lukey? Pardon? Oh, Lewis was it in? Lewis, you went to Flocky?
Yes.
Oh, come and then have your dinner.
Their mother earns the family income, but her wages only just about feed them. If she needs to buy anything else, it means overtime. Her standard of living has deteriorated in this country, but she hopes her children will have some sort of a future.
Louis! Louis, look!
Her attitude to the problems of the area is fatalistic. She has no idea how to solve them. She says it's up to the government. It's not her job to be involved. But if things are really going to be changed, parents are going to have to be involved. Children need space of their own to grow up in. There's none here. Perhaps it matters less while they're young, but what happens as they grow older?
He's not sit here. Look, he's sit here. And then two small children sit here. See?
Amazingly, play is still low on the list of priorities for development. We need more playgrounds, built by the children themselves. To the adult eye, it's a heap of junk, untidy and ugly. When the area is redeveloped, some would like to see it replaced with a slab of concrete. But to a child, the venture is a way of hitting back at the world outside. What of the future for these children? Many are destined for a life in the factories, where their spirits will be crushed. They deserve better. Some now in their teens who have grown up from the playground are disillusioned by what they've found outside and have walked out of the factories that we've sent them to work in. Through frustration, some have left their homes too and have taken to living on the streets. Our society is full of wasted talent because we don't know how to use it. Young people have it, the venture encourages it, but in the end there's little outlet for it. Playgrounds in themselves cannot alter this, but the children who go there may one day begin to force the change.